People often ask me the sort of setup that I have and the equipment that I use to shoot my videos, whether I'm doing live sessions, music videos, live streaming, interviews or whatever. So I thought I would make a little video to introduce you to the setup that I use in 2021. Let's get to it right after this. If you are new to this channel, my name is Bandicoot. I'm a video maker based here in London. I've been making videos for the past 5 years now, working mainly for indie musicians, but not only. And this is actually my first video where I share my video maker experience. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this new format on my YouTube channel. Alright, let's get to it. My camera setup for 2021. Let's start with the obvious, the camera body. For most of my shoot, I use the camera that I'm using to shoot this video right now, which is the A7S Mark III. I got it a few months ago now, and I'm just in love with this camera. It's got some amazing features. It can shoot in 4K at 120 FPS with 10 bits of colors for a really wide dynamic range, and all of that in a really small and compact body that you can take easily in your backpack. Really light, really easy to travel with. You can set it up on a gimbal, on a stabilizer, and it's not going to be too demanding on your arms if you're shooting for a long time. But I guess my favorite feature in this camera is the quality of the autofocus. It's really responsive, really accurate, tracks your face or your eye really well, really fast. See if I get my face close to the camera or really far away from it, it's gonna track me hopefully really well. If I ever need a second camera to shoot some behind the scenes or another angle or whatever, I would stick with Sony with the second body here, the little sister, the A7 Mark III. Great camera as well. I have to say that this video is not sponsored by any of those brands. I'm just showing you the products that I use every day and that I really enjoy using and that I would recommend to any professional video maker. Alright, second, the lenses. I would always have 2 lenses in my bag, no matter what the shoot is, and more if needed. The first one is the one I'm using to shoot this video, is the Bastion by Zeiss 2.0 25 wide lens, super sharp, great color accuracy, just love it. And I have another Zeiss here that I use a lot to do some portrait video making, 1.8 55, excellent lens, can't recommend it enough. Let's put them together. Alright, so the next thing that I would have always in my bag at all times is a gimbal or stabilizer. The one that I'm using is the RS2 from DJI. DJI is a brand well known for the drones but also make amazing stabilizers like this one. Let's mount it. Alright, so with this setup you only need like a couple of minutes to set up and to balance the gimbal and the camera on top. And then you're all set with a camera that's perfectly stabilized here. What I love about this gimbal is how reactive and responsive it is. The motors are really powerful. If you move the joystick here, you can see how fast it moves, and I just love it. Alright, finally, the last piece of equipment that I will always have in my bag are filters. First one is an ND filter. If you don't know, an ND filter is basically really simple. It's just sunglasses for your lens. So if you have too much light, if you're shooting on a bright day outside on a sunny day and you need less light to have the settings that you want in your camera in order to make it cinematic, you would put an ND filter. The one that I'm using is one from Farrell. So if you change it this way, you can see that it gets more or less dark. The other filter that I would have at all time is a polarizer. It basically helps you to avoid having reflection on windows, like on glass, on the water, to have a bluer sky, but I could make a whole video about it, so maybe next time. If you want to know more about this equipment, I'm going to put a link in the description below about all of my setup. By the way, for each video that I'm going to be making in this little studio, I'm going to be using a song from an indie musician that I met along the way. Because of my job, I meet a lot of indie musicians that I think are extremely talented, and I would just want to share their music. So I just thought that those videos would be a great opportunity to do so. This video's soundtrack is brought to you by Grogan. It is one of his singles called Food Poisoning. If you want to listen properly to the song and discover Brian's music, I'm gonna put the link to his music in the description below. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. It's the first video I make about sharing my experience as a video maker, and I hope you enjoyed this new format. If you are new to this channel, welcome, and if you think that it's any good quality, and if you haven't done it already, please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking on the little bell to get the notifications. That would be really helpful. That's it for me for now. Thanks for watching again. Until next time, I'll leave you with Brian Grogan.
Or falling in love, I mean it's one of the two. I need to learn how to wait.